Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Matt Salmon.
Well, I'm one of those few people in Congress that we call a retread. I actually got elected to Congress back in 1994. Remember the contract with America? And I was one of the few people that actually made a term limit pledge and kept it. In fact, I think there were like 100 of us that made the pledge. I think 5 of us kept our word and went home. But that's the way things go in Washington, D.C. You drink that water, you change forever. Anyway, when I was in Congress before, I was dubbed as one of the bad boys of the Republican Party. There were 11 of us, and I think it was kind of the precursor to the Tea Party. We were kind of the Tea Party before the Tea Party was cool. But anyway, there were 11 of us, and we were constantly having to not only fight Bill Clinton, who was the president at that time, but fight against some of the things that our own leadership was doing. Because we didn't come back to be just some mindless lemming for the elephant over the donkey. We actually came back with some values, and that was to get our government spending down, to live within our means, to get fair taxes that don't ruin people's businesses and their lives. And we actually believed the things that the Republican Party had been saying. That was our big crime, but they called us the bad boy Republicans. And now to be referred to as a Tea Party patriot makes my wife a lot easier. She didn't like the bad boy Republican thing. But I just want you to know what brought me back, because I left for 12 years. And when I left, having kept my term limit pledge, I never thought I'd come back to Congress again. Because when I left, we had actually balanced the budget for the first time in 40 years. In 1998, we balanced the budget. In 1999, we balanced the budget. And the year that I left, in 2000, not only did we balance the budget, but we had a $240-some billion surplus. The federal budget was about $1.7 trillion. And then I fast forward, I'm out of it for 12 years, and I see what happens in 2010 with you glorious patriots standing up and fighting against the most tyrannical president that we've ever had in the history of America. And I see, and my juices just start flowing. I get energized. I'm thinking, these patriots, they're on the mark. And so in 2012, I decided to come back and run again, because I believe with all my heart that this movement is growing. You've heard from folks out there in the media, the liberal, we refer to them, the mainstream, lamestream media. But the fact is, they try to put out the obituary for the Tea Party. The fact is, it's growing and it's strengthening. When I was in Congress before, there were 11 of us on the House side that fought valiantly. There's now 40 of us on the House side. And that's a good thing. And when I first came, there was nobody really that was carrying the banner on the Senate side. Nobody. Now we got about 6 or 7. And it's only going to grow after this next election. But I want to talk about the idea that we get labeled with almost all the time, extremists. We get called extremists. And I want to remind you that the father of conservative politics in this country, Barry Goldwater from my state, Arizona, said this. He said that extremism in defense of liberty is no vice. And he said that moderation in in pursuit of justice is no virtue. I want to stand here before you all today, and I want to acknowledge something. If balancing the budget, again, is extreme, then I'm guilty as charged. I'm extreme. If sending Obamacare to the netherworld is extreme, then I'm extreme. If finding justice for Brian Terry, a brave patriot that was killed on the border during Fast and Furious, is extreme, then I'm extreme. If finding justice for Ambassador Stevens, who was murdered in Benghazi, is extreme, then I'm extreme. And I'll tell you something. The old phrase, when the going get tough, the tough get going. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you patriots any day of the week. And I will fight side by side with you until we take our country back and we get our freedom back. Thank you. "18 years ago, when I first came to Congress, I was a young father of 4 children. Now I'm a grandfather of 6 grandchildren. And I look into their little eyes and their faces, and it makes me want to weep. What kind of a country or legacy are we going to leave them? I spoke to a group of high school students last week, and I said, what we're doing today in spending away your future is so immoral. It's like your parents getting an all-expense trip around the world with the finest hotels and first-class airlines, and then putting it on a credit card in your name. That's what we're doing today. And those kids get it. We need to get it. We need to fight for our country. And if that makes the establishment folks cringe a little bit, it makes them uncomfortable, well, boo-hoo-hoo. This is not a game. This is an epic battle. Abraham Lincoln once said that if America is ever defeated, it will not be from without, it will be from within. So folks, let's rise up and take our country back. I am proud to be a Tea Party Republican, and I'm proud to represent you. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you.
Ladies and